What happens when a player misinterprets the flavor text? Let me describe the situation. So this was a while back when I played 3.5. I had joined a game with some people online, and for the most part, it was really fun. The party consisted of an OP wizard who min-maxed to do the most damage, a crusader who loved him some roleplay, a strength rogue who liked big damage, and me, the caster bard, who liked to come up with the stupid plans. Up until this point, we had successfully rescued a princess from the scheming evil queen of her nation, and were in the process of running for our lives trying to keep her safe while we attempted to form a coup to put her on the throne. The DM thought that we needed another player to better round out the group, so he recruited a new player, who we will call Eric. In hindsight, the signs were obvious, but at the time, we all had our weird habits, so we didn't pay too much attention to it. He introduced his Aasimar cleric to the group as a young woman of peerless beauty. We rolled for appearance like a stat, and he sent us a picture of a Victoria's Secrets model in lieu of an actual character description. The character was perfect in every sense of the word, according to Eric. It was difficult to refute that, as he had, through the use of an expansion book, the Book of Exalted Deeds, which boosted all of her stats every morning to above 20 at level 6. So thanks to that, most of our combat encounters were either trivial or near death-inducing as the DM attempted to compensate, which was fine for the most part, as the wizard was also a cause of this. Where it started to become a problem was when Eric's character would begin to step on everyone else's toes, mine in particular, because his character was so perfect he could fit any role. I built a caster support bard for combat, but my real joy was being the face of the party. I had invested a lot to make sure that when I needed to do the talking, I could lay down the roles to back up my stupid ideas. Whenever there was an important social encounter that I was attempting, Eric would show up out of nowhere to roll as well. Need to convince the local lord to back the princess's ascension to the throne using blackmail and the promises of rewards? Well, Eric thinks they should help because he rolled high and his character is attractive. I suffered through it though, because it didn't hinder my or the party's plans at all, or anything. This all came to a breaking point for me, however, when we found the assassin that took out the previous king. After sneaking through his lair, we found him in a private room waiting for us. The lawful evil blade for hire had a magic book that is signed with blood by anyone he makes a contract with, so they won't betray him later. Thanks to some paranoia on my part, I also learned he had 3 trained invisible trolls near him in case we got violent. I set to work. With that book and his testimony, we could prove the queen hired an assassin to kill her husband and take the throne. I began making offers and bargaining with the assassin to let us use the book, if not get him to act as a witness. The DM did not make it easy for me, however. It was clear he wanted to give up something of great value to the assassin. The wizard and rogue players had to leave early, so I wanted to end this diplomatically. I came to only a few ideas, and with much apprehension, I offered my life.
I rolled to flirt with him,
blurted out Eric. I grimaced as he rolled successfully. The assassin agreed that if he could tap that, then he would lower the price for the book. I was a little saddened after what I thought would have been a cool moment, but it would mean that I would not have to sacrifice myself, so whatever. We fade to black as they do the deed, and Eric excitedly tells us that the assassin is now lawful good and should now give us the book for free. We were all flabbergasted as we had no idea what he was talking about. After much debating about what magical ability he was talking about, we found out that he was talking about the flavor text within the Book of Exalted Deeds, which read, "Those who become intimate with someone who is exalted good will change their ways after seeing true good," or something along those lines. Eric thought that his character was so good in bed that he could change an assassin that has killed dozens of people for coin in a matter of 10 in-game minutes. For 30 real-life minutes, we all argued back and forth that the flavor text was talking about converting people to good by example and over time, but Eric would hear none of it. It was the first time I shouted out of character in a D&D game. After things calmed down, the DM rolled back the event and I signed a contract to aid the assassin to the best of my abilities once as a favor. The DM let me off the hook with that as he was frustrated as well. This story sounds like a mess, but I'll focus on the end. DM is the decision maker when it comes to how things are run. Even if you don't think that a pixie should roll a death save because a bucket of water fell on said pixie, if the DM said it and you can't convince them, then you need to move on. What do you all think about this situation?